most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as always, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano. How we doing, Jive Turkey?
Let's go. Doing great, brother. Great to see you, as always, on a Wednesday, halfway through the week. Happy hump day. Or if it's Thursday, whenever you're hearing this, we appreciate you. But I'm feeling fantastic, man. Coming off a little trip to Des Moines, Iowa, if you're just reading it phonetically there. But it was a hell of a show, man, and can't wait to have a hell of a show with y'all, and thank you all for patiently waiting for us. You know, a little late, but as I like to say, better late than never. So we're back, baby. I'm ready to rip it, man. Let's go.
Back in action and ready to give a reaction, my friend. And we got Lethal Sugar in the chat. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Always a pleasure when we get to see you. So, yeah, man. Hope you enjoyed these fights. Let us know what your thoughts were on this card in the comments, and let us know what you think should be next for these folks. So we're going to go ahead and start off with a women's flyweight bout between Juliana Killer Miller and Ivana Petrovic. My goodness. No, I am glad we didn't put a shot on this one. Look, I'll take the lead here. I'll keep it short and sweet. Because the fight was gritty. It was 15 minutes of action and just honestly an onslaught of grappling from Juliana Killer Miller, who looked to just obliterate her opponent by way of systematic drowning, right? She went out there with the grappling and put it on full display, landing 3 of 9 takedowns. That's a 33.3% clip, 22 out of 55 significant strikes, being outlanded on significant strikes actually by her opponent by just 3. And also being outlanded by her opponent by the same number in total strikes, 54 to 57. Look, man, it was a tough match. It was not a match that you'll go and show your friends to get them into mixed martial arts as a sport, but it was a hard-fought win and a well-earned win for tough alumni coming off of a tough run of the mill in the UFC. And Juliana Killer Miller, I was very impressed with her performance. I was impressed with her grit, her tenacity, and her ability to just keep it going when the going got tough inside of that octagon. Nano, what were your thoughts on this one? I'll be honest with you, not going to play matchmaker for her, but definitely we'll be paying attention to her next bout.
Yeah, exactly that. But we'll be paying attention. We'll always be rooting for Juliana Killer Miller. I think I'm someone that definitely has a soft spot for a lot of these, let's call it alumnus from the Dana White Contender Series, The Ultimate Fighter. You just feel like you know them a little bit more, even just from that. So with that being said, I've definitely am impressed with her performance, but, didn't necessarily go out starch her opponent, right? If anything, I think she might have actually lost that first round to an Ivana Petrovic, who looked good to start again, but just wasn't able to have an answer for the wrestling pedigree and really the just wide variety of strikes and blending it. It was a true mixed martial arts matchup here to set the night, to start the tone for this Des Moines card. But yeah, Juliana Killer Miller, man, I'm not going to play matchmaker, but I do think she's a notable enough name to at least inch closer or warrant a crack at someone closer to the top 25, top 15. I'm going to pump the brakes there. But I think anybody that's relevant I'll certainly be tuning back in to watch Juliana Killer Miller go back out there and take care of business. And same with Ivana. No love lost. It's just like we learned multiple times tonight. I mean, you know, the wrestling pedigree, it certainly can pay dividends, but you also can have other tricks up your sleeve as well to counteract that wrestling game. So way to go, Juliana. It was a good start to the night for sure.
A good start to the night, even though it was not a finish, and it kind of set the tone, right? It let us know that not every fight was going to be a finish, but when we did get them, we were going to be pretty darn excited about them. And with that being said, we move into another non-finish that took place, of course, in the heavyweight division. It was about between Thomas Petersen and Dontel Mays. I mean, look, Dontel Mays is somebody we always talk about that we will never bet on or against, because typically, you know, when he's supposed to go out there and do great things, he doesn't, and vice versa. Glad we didn't bet on this one as well. We both thought Thomas Petersen was going to get it done. He did. Still glad we stayed away from it, and I just got to enjoy what took place inside of that octagon. Nano, I'll let you take the lead on breaking this one down. Tell the people what you thought about what Thomas Petersen went out there and did to young Dontel Mays.
Yeah, man, this was a fun outing, and a big boy against another big boy here. Heavyweights clashing to set the tone here. Second fight of the night. And Thomas Petersen went out there and did basically what we thought he was going to do, right? It was a true Dontel Mays fight in his fashion. Just really did not have an answer for the wrestling. Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but that just seemed to be the tail of the tape, right? And we call it how we see it. And it really started off somewhat competitive, especially when you look at some of the numbers. Striking differential was close. You would think Dontel Mays, if he could find a way to weather the storm and maybe get a reversal or land a knee or just simply hurt his opponent, which, you know, with these heavyweights, all it takes is one punch that can totally change the night. But that never came over the course of 15 minutes. And compliments goes out to Thomas Petersen for avoiding those bombs, those absolute nuclear missiles coming out of Dontel Mays' fists. And with that, it was due to the wrestling dominance, we can call this one. I mean, he really wrestled his way to victory. I don't think he got stuffed at all. And as I'm breaking down each round here, was 100%. So he went a complete 9 for 9 with his takedowns, with his attempts, with his, excuse me, as I'm burping up here a little bit, with his control time. I mean, it just really, really lopsided victory, which is great to see for Thomas Petersen. But I will say it was a grindy, whiny affair. Again, heavyweights went the full 15 minutes. So we didn't get that oh shit moment. We didn't get the oh wow, the ESPN top 10 here. But Thomas Petersen is slowly making a name for himself. And I'm not going to give it the full Gambit accent there, but he's slowly making a name. And in terms of what's next for both these guys, really, but for Thomas Petersen, it's tough. I mean, there's a short list of heavyweights that are in the realm of conversation, but you know, someone that I know is looking to hopefully get back in there sooner than later. I have a shirt hanging in my closet, like a Tate Tuivasa might be a good kind of ballpark to peg a Thomas Petersen. You know, not a top 10 opponent, I don't think is on the horizon, but maybe somebody that has some name value and moves the needle when it comes to, getting eyeballs here on these fights. But talk to me, MMAnomaly. Talk to the people. We got 8 of y'all in here. We got Lethal Sugar. Let us know how you feel. We see the emojis in the chat. Dixon Sider, hopefully you're still around. I know we're a little late, but we appreciate you staying up if you're on the East Coast there. Us West Coast kids, we don't know what it's like. But MMAnomaly, talk to the people, man. How'd you feel about this one?
Yeah, man. Great breakdown as always, Nano. Look, I thought this was going to go almost exactly as it did. The only thing that really struck me as odd or surprising was how easy Thomas Petersen made it look to get those takedowns in there. Like, we know Dontel Mays has trained with the likes of John Jones. He is a tough son of a gun. But, man, Thomas Petersen made it look very easy in there. The guy is big. He's strong. He landed 9 out of 9 takedowns. That's 100%, folks. 100%. 105 strikes to 13 in totality. 28 significant strikes to 3 in totality, I mean, any way you slice it, any way you dice it, it was damn near 10-1 in every single stat, including takedowns. It was at least 9-1, or 9-0 if you look at takedowns. So yeah, Thomas Petersen, one-way traffic. There's not a whole lot of meat left on the bone after Nano did such a good job breaking down that fight. Lethal Sugar said, I had a great weekend, man. I smashed my bets. Super happy about the results. Let's go, Lethal. We love to hear it. We love it when you guys win. That's what we really love to hear. Now, as far as what I think should be next for the man. man. I don't know. You could probably give him like a Martin Bidet if he's still in the UFC, or maybe like a Chris Beast Boy Barnett, who's coming off of a pretty devastating loss, popping his knee. I think that'd be a fun fight. Can he take down Chris Barnett like that while he's doing crazy spinning back flips and fucking back kicks and shit? I mean, the guy's a wild one, bro.
Yeah, I'll tune in to watch it. I'll tune in to find out the answer to that question. So I like where your head's at. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a fun match.
Absolutely.
And as far as for Dontel Mays, I feel like it's back to the drawing board, right? Like 11-9 at this point and 1 no contest. It's tough. Maybe time to switch training camps. Maybe time to switch your style up a little bit and kind of the game planning. But yeah, something's got to give. And it's not giving up 9 takedowns, man. That was a tough watch. If you're a fan of Dontel Mays. So with that being said, let's talk about a bantamweight bout, right? It was a nice little scrap between Gaston Balanos and Li Bang Quang. And man, what a statement from Quang, right? Coming in, I feel like Balanos had the hype. He had more flashy kind of Muay Thai background, the spinning back elbows, nasty work, and the knockout power. We've seen it before. But Li Bang Quang, he just wasn't having it, right? No, like this guy was nasty with it from the opening bell. He showed patience, precision, poise. He stayed just outside of Balanos' danger zone, right? Picked his shots beautifully and shut down most of the flash with, in my opinion, pretty sharp footwork and very crisp counters. Every time Balanos tried to get creative, Bang Quang answered with clean combinations and smart movement. It wasn't just a striking showcase or a showing of kind of somebody being better on the feet, but I mean, he ended up getting it done via submission, right? It was a mature, composed performance from a rising star that a lot of people probably didn't know the name of going into that performance. I thought it was very, very impressive. I honestly can't wait to see what's next for him. But before I start throwing names out, I'd love to hear what you think should be next for the young man who went out there and got a very nice rear naked choke.
Yeah, man, it was very nice. It was very nicey. It was quite a performance, quite a shock. Won himself $50,000 with that. He put his opponent to sleep. Don't know how often you can get paid a bonus check for putting your opponent's lights out in that sense. But yeah, man, you rich. That's exactly what he did. If would have made someone rich if he would have, from a betting perspective, because this was a dog that we did not think had that kind of bite in him, but certainly earned my respect here, Quang Lee. That's how I felt here after Gaston was complaining about the grappling and the choking and the lack of offense. When it's like, hey man, you gotta figure it out, right? It's not on your opponent to, be bashed in your face in 24/7. That also leaves himself exposed. So I think Quang Lee, like you said, man, he stayed composed, poised, and found a quick path to victory. I think he knew real fast he could pretty much do whatever he wanted with the Gaston Balanos and that Muay Thai discipline. He could do just about anything he wanted with him on the mat. Really, really big gaping hole in the Gaston Balanos' game. If he's going to go anywhere in the UFC, you got to figure it out down there. But Quang Lee, man, to answer your question more directly, what's next for someone like a Quang Lee, someone that's, slowly, again, making a name for himself here? I don't know how high we want to
throw him up. I've been waiting for this. I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Woo! That's what he does. That's what we do. UFC is known for putting people on, especially if they're going out there and putting on good performances like that. Man, I mean, this division's stacked, right? I hate using that as a cop-out, but I would say as I'm looking through the list here, you got to go top 50. You probably got to go top 40-ish, right? I don't know how rich we want to get, but I mean, shoot, someone that did just fight recently, someone that is now making his full-time job, the UFC, maybe a Malcolm the Machine Wellmaker, you know, sitting at 46 in the rankings, might be a name that's worth putting in there with the Quang Lee. I don't know if you have anyone else top of mind, but I would say I think someone in that ballpark would certainly be a-okay with me. What are you thinking, brother?
Look, I think he deserves a real test after that, man. Someone who can push the pace, someone who can bring the heat. I think he needs a fight against a gritty veteran. Somebody like a Billy Quarantillo would be perfect, I think. Both guys are tough, durable, and experienced enough. And I think that this would be the right move to keep Bang Kang's momentum going if he's able to get a win over a Billy Q. And let's be real, the UFC is constantly trying to expand into other countries. And I think this would be a great way to do that with a Bang Kang. So he's the kind of talent they're absolutely looking to build a brand around. Also, Yanez, I don't think is a bad call out either, Lethal Sugar. But as you said in your comment, that might be a bit much. He also said, Kang bang, baby, savage. Rolled through Bolanos, made it look so easy. Man, he really did.
That was a dog moment for sure.
Really did. Sheesh.
You ain't lying.
My goodness.
You ain't lying, Lethal. And I do like Yanez as a fighter, as a name. I certainly think not too rich for my blood. And definitely not a good matchup for my boy, Andrew Yanez. I think that's probably why I'm most hesitant, just as a fan. I don't want to see it, man. I'd throw the damn towel. But I like redheads at Lethal. We see you.
We definitely see you, Lethal. And something else I definitely saw was this, nasty, easy win for Gillian Robertson. I'm talking about somebody who came out there against the Marina Rodriguez and just made it look easy in this strawweight showdown. This was a classic striker versus grappler matchup. And from the jump, you could see that both fighters were sticking to their game plans, right? Rodriguez, as expected, tried to use her length and in striking volume to control the range early. She at first did keep Robertson at bay. And by at first, I mean for the first couple seconds with jabs and straights. But then the moment Gillian was able to close the distance, it was bad stuff, man. It was bad. The difference in the grappling was very obvious. Gillian's top pressure, her transitions, her striking from the top, I think was the biggest differentiator. 73 strikes to 7, 16 to 4 on significant. And Gillian just took 2 takedowns before she started really pouring the pressure on in round 2 specifically, and ended up ultimately getting the TKO stoppage from grounded strikes. Bro, I mean, what else can you say? Like, we said this last week that we thought it was going to be one-way traffic for the most part, and that's what it ended up being, folks. Yeah, I mean, this is what we called. Gillian looks better every fight, man. She is mean. Lethal, she is disgusting with it, bro. She's really good at mixing the martial arts, you could say. Crossover MMA. Let's go. Had to swing by and say what's up to the boys. Hit the like button. Let's go, Cross. And if you're not already subscribed to Crossover MMA, do yourself a favor. Not me. Do yourself a favor. Go on over there and subscribe to Crossover MMA. Dude puts out quality content. I know all you guys in the chat right now probably saw me and him cutting it up on the watch along. So, yeah, come on. Make sure you go subscribe to that guy's channel. And just in case you forgot, Cross.
Lakers in 5.
My guy. Trigger D, smash that fucking like button, ladies and gentlemen. What up, Trigger? Hope you're doing great, my friend. Glad to see you in the chat. Let us know what you thought of these fights. And Nano, let us know what you thought of this Marina Rodriguez versus Gillian Robertson semi-one-way traffic, brother.
Of course, I got you. And what up, Crossover? What up, Trigger D? Figure D. Let's go. Good to have y'all as always. And like you said, go check them out. Some good peeps, man. And speaking of good peeps, Gillian Robertson, capital G there in Robertson. My goodness, Gillian is an absolute beast. Love what I saw from her. Did exactly what you had to do. And it's no knock on the Marina Rodriguez. I think just unfortunately, like we talked about last week, if y'all were in tune, it's just at this stage in her career, it's a young woman's game, right? It's Father Time is undefeated, and you got someone that's hungry, as Lethal probably put it best here, just to steal his words. It's someone that's constantly getting better every time they go in the octagon. She asked her in Amanda Lemos, give the people what she wants. Give the fighter, give the I guess the eye on the prize, right? Give the person that is going out there and risking it all. She made a request. Honestly, I thought anyone above her makes sense, even a Tatiana Suarez. But hey, you want an Amanda Lemos, someone that previously fought for the belt, that is a straight path to title contention conversation. I love it, and I think it's a great matchup. We're gonna find out how tough she is and how durable she can be against another. And Lemos is kind of on the back nine as well. I think similar age to a Marina, but strong and very skilled when it comes to the grappling discipline also. So that's hell of a matchup, y'all. Again, but hell of a performance. I don't want to say it was kind of what we expected. I mean, it was a really, really fun fight for as long as it lasted, but I think her violence, it definitely became apparent who the stronger, more hungry fighter was at that stage. But man, again, she made it easy for us. She made her call out. I'm gonna keep it there, give her what she wants, and give the people we want as well. I'll co-sign that as well.
Yeah, man, sign me up. I mean, she made her call. Give her what she wants.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, man. Keep it simple. What up, Lane? How you doing? What up, boys? Man, it's late out here for us. Well, we appreciate you staying up past your bedtime with us. What a legend you are, Lane. We'll have to pour one up for you in a minute. We actually do, because he got one wrong. I got one wrong. So ipso facto, that is it's a drink for each of us. That's coming up in just 2 fights. So let's go on and get to it, my friend. Middleweight bout is the next one between Ryan Loader and Azamat Bekoev. Holy fucking smokes. I thought this was supposed to be a wrestler versus striker kind of deal. Or a wrestler versus wrestler kind of deal, rather. A little Russian wrestling versus American wrestling. But, man, neither guy landed a single takedown, and it just turned into an all-out striking match with one man landing just about 3 times what the other landed. We got 39-15 in total strikes, and we got 2-1 on significant strikes, damn near, with 23-13, both in favor of Azamat Bekoev. What a guy. This guy is a real problem, Nano. This guy is a real problem, huh? It's your turn to go first on this one. I definitely have things to say.
I got you. And I'll get my wine glass ready as I'm just sipping on some wine tonight, being a little extra fancy, mostly because the wife opened up a bottle and I can't let it go to waste. So I did join her on this endeavor. But man, what a showcasing. What a dog, right? I mean, you mentioned a problem. Azamat is an issue. I mean, this guy is something else. He went out there, took care of the Man of Steel, Clark Kent, a.k.a. His opponent Lieber there, Ryan Loader, excuse me. But man, that was, the power was apparent. I think as soon as it opened up, you saw how powerful his punches were and how impactful they were on a Ryan Loader. And even when Ryan, tried to counter, tried to do his best to give it his 1-2, his best shot. I mean, most he had packed for his lunch there. It just simply was not enough. I guess Azamat had a bigger lunch pail, had bigger bite, had bigger hunger. And, just absolutely took care of Ryan. You did see, obviously, some sloppiness. They were on the commentary talking about the hands dropping, things like that. But in my head, I'm like, dude, he's getting rocked. Yeah, I mean, there comes a point, and you could probably talk through this more, and anyone that's listening that's ever laced him up kind of knows it's like if you do get hit hard enough, a part of you does kind of agree with the idea of like, you know, F the fundamentals. I'm gonna drop my hands, but I'm going to get mine, right? In a way, I'm gonna eat one to get one. And so as you so elegantly portrayed there for us visual viewers, just, you know, it just wasn't enough, right? Ryan Loder just did not have enough in the arsenal for Azamat Bekoev, and he is somebody that I do think matches up really, really well. It's reminiscent. I don't want to put this kind of praise or pressure on a young guy in his career, but it's kind of reminiscent of like a Dricus Duplessis, right? Somebody that comes in, obviously just body type, big for the division, strong, but for whatever reason, he starts putting his mitts on people and they go into the shadow realm. You know, little Thunderbolt kind of reference there. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get back on track. That was a big win, big 50K. In terms of what's next, I think you need another big opponent, right? Someone like a Gregory, my boy RoboCop Rodriguez, big name, big body, a lot of muscles, big punches, big night for the UFC. Okay, just think big here, y'all. That's where my head's at, and I'm gonna get off my high horse and let the people let me know how they feel, and also you, my brother. How you feeling about this one? I mean, is that too rich for your blood? Is that too high? Or are you like Creed and you want to take Azamat higher?
I'm happy with it. I'm happy to take Azamat higher. Oh, man. This fight was a nasty one. It was a nasty one, brother. Because it didn't really last long, right? It was a nasty showing for Bekoev. He came out like a man on a mission, steamrolled through Loder in the very first round. From the very opening of the bell, he wasted no time to establish control. Landing leg kicks, keeping his opponent at bay. And when Loder tried to come in with the grappling, he shut that shit down so quick. And you could almost see the confidence start to fade from Loder. And as you said, right, he just, he's like, all right, then let's just trade in the middle. Let's just trade leather. And that proved to be a problem, right? That was not the move to make. And as a result, he ended up getting a guest cameo appearance from Right Hook Ricky. You know, we've all heard Left Hook Larry, but Right Hook Ricky every now and then likes to show up too. And he did in full form. My goodness, it was nice, bro. Followed up with some grounded strikes, ultimately gets the finish. And I mean, with that being said, oh man, I gotta think you put this guy Azamat against another up and comer. As much as I usually don't like to do that, man, I almost, I agree with you. I love a Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez, or if you want to give him someone a little bit closer to where he sits in the rankings, you give him a Shara Bullet Magomedov, which I also think would be a really fun fight.
And they could do it overseas as well, right? That can be a Saudi card. That can be
that would be perfect for a Saudi card.
Yep, good point.
I think it'd be a perfect one.
My gosh, that'd be a banger.
Oh yeah, I would. I mean, pay. I would pay. You could put that on a pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia as like the opener. I'd be like, yeah, cool. I don't mind that being part of the money that I pay for this fight.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Speaking of, yeah. I feel like you got the easy way out with that wine tonight, my guy, because Miesha Tate, oof, man. She was not cupcaking. You know, the cupcakes was not cupcaking. It was not fun. It was not good. She did outland her opponent in total strikes, but she got majorly outlanded in terms of significant strikes. I'll keep mine very, very brief when it comes to this one, bro. Because, you know, I don't want to have to bust out the violin music for it, which I'm tempted to. Bro, Yana just went out there and hit her hard, right? I think that's the best way to describe this fight. One woman was doing damage. The other woman was throwing strikes. And that's all there was to it. Like, Yana was dealing actual damage. As Trigga said in the chat here, those leg kicks were heavy from Santos. You could see the welts starting to show up after just a couple of seconds of her throwing those in the very first round. It was nasty work, bro. It was nasty work from bell to bell, from pillar to post, as they say. I mean, I'm glad Miesha Tate retired. I think it's time at 20 and 10. At the age that she's at currently, it's time to hang him up, man. She's had an illustrious career, but man, Yana Santos, she's showing that she's at 35 years of age. She still got it, man. She looked really good out there. That may have been her best performance thus far, especially in the UFC. What up, Lazy Bed? Just about to pour one up, my guy. Just about to pour one up. Nano, what were your thoughts on this final showing in Miesha Cupcake Tate's career?
I would say it was a good final showing. It was an appropriately timed final showing, and I think it just kind of felt like I was watching a little bit of a UFC circa early 2000s, circa 2010 is something, 2010s, 10-ish, where it's just like her wrestling, judo trips and things like that just didn't work, right? And I don't know if part of it, I think, is you got to be a little more explosive. You got to probably be a little bit more physically imposing, and they probably just got to be a little bit more better timed, all of which really go out the door as you get older. So it felt like the timing was right, but she looked good, right? She looked as good as you can, being a Miesha Tate, being kind of a walk-in legend and someone that boomeranged back. And given that circumstances, I mean, she looked great, right? I mean, I think selfishly, you always feel like when fighters take some of their prime away from the sport, you feel robbed a little bit. But for her, obviously, it had the right reasons, and I'll happily take a sip of this wine. I think there's probably a bottle somewhere else in case I need more, because I did get a few picks wrong this fight card. But certainly will happily do one for Miesha Tate here, and great career. But certainly a good way to go out, right? More like the Robbie Lawler-esque. Obviously didn't get the hand raised, but landed over 100 strikes, actually outstruck her opponent, was able to get one takedown, unfortunately just out of 7 of those. So not that high of a, accuracy standpoint, but big shout out to any and all legends and the turning of a chapter here. So I'll drink to that. And we'll raise one up here to all y'all listening. And whether you're drinking, whether you're smoking, whether you're just breathing, we appreciate you. All 17, 18 of you listening. And if you're listening later on, maybe you stumble upon this, we appreciate you. Salute.
And I did get this one right, but we never let people drink alone. And this one will just, preemptively count for the next fight that I have wrong, which is the very next fight that we'll go over. So cheers to that, folks. Cheers to you.
There we go. Covering all the bases there, boy.
Let's go.
Oh, Trigger D. Almost a year off the sauce, huh?
Let's go, Triggs.
We're taking one for Cupcake. I love it.
I haven't drank since 4th of July, but I'm taking a shot of Crown for Cupcake right now. Let's go, brother. Let's go. Love to see.
It's a special occasion indeed, then. Special occasion indeed.
Oh, man. So the shot I just did was a preemptive one for this fight because I got it wrong. Oh, wait, we didn't even talk about who should be next. I would be remiss if we didn't talk about that. Nano, did you have a name on the tip of your tongue for what should be next for Yana Santos in the women's bantamweight division?
Yeah, and she is a ranked opponent, isn't she? She's somebody that certainly deserves to get back up there and, have another fight sooner rather than later. There is someone I'm looking at here, and I want to make sure they haven't fought already. Well, I guess maybe that's a narrative in and of itself, but I'm looking at Irene Aldana, who doesn't have a dance partner. Half the time, the best ability is availability, but she has beat Yana in the past. I wonder if there's any appetite for the UFC to run this back. It's a number 2. It's always a little bit more there, but just looking at the rankings themselves, it's like her or maybe an Eileen Fiona Perez are the two that pick your poison. But what do you think, brother? Where's your head at?
Those are the 2 names that I had written down, and then the third name I had was Jacqueline Cavalcanti ?
It's I don't want to say they're obvious, but it's they pop out on the page, don't they?
It just makes sense, man. Just makes sense. MBS. Chitara Mayra Bueno Silva. Maida. That would make sense. I think that's a good shout.
Definitely makes sense.
Where's Maeda in the rankings these days? Dude, how far down is Maeda? Is that the right weight class? Hold on. Oh no, I think Maeda Bueno Silva might fight a different weight class or something.
Oh man.
Flyweight. Oh yeah, she fights down a weight class. Or maybe she just came up. Did she just come up? Yeah, Topology still has her as a flyweight. And her last fight was against one of our favorite female fighters of all time, Jasmine. Who also fights at flyweight. So I think she might be a flyweight. Trigger, my guy. One shot at crown. You're already losing it, brother.
Nice.
Oh man. So yeah, I got this one wrong. Okay, it was the opener of the main card. It was Jeremy Little Heathen Stevens and Mason Jones. It was a bit of a critical role there for Mason Jones. He did everything right, and Jeremy Stevens did Jeremy Stevens things. Maybe let the fight slip away to an extent. Nano, you take the lead on this one. Luckily, I've already done my shot for it, so I'll just sit here and fester in my wrongness while I wait for the mic.
I appreciate it, brother. No, this was a fun one, man. I mean, this one felt kind of like a passing of the torch. It was an OG dog in in Jeremy Stevens passing the torch to a Mason Jones. But this was a fun fight, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was not the cleanest, most textbook fight in the world, which I think is what I love about it in a way. It was two guys that are bloodied up, that were beaten, that never gave up, but certainly put a licking on each other, and wouldn't want to be either one of these individuals that night, the night after, and maybe for the next few weeks, because that was an absolute beating we've seen from really both of them. I mean, obviously Mason Jones really put a number and really doubled anything that Jeremy did. You know, Mason did better, which again is what we expected. But man, just a fun vintage fight. Again, you know, to reference, maybe it was good to have a Miesha Tate right before. Maybe I was in my nostalgic kind of feels here. Maybe it was all the adult beverages all kicking at the same time. I don't know what it was. Maybe my allergies, but it certainly was a fun one. Loved the amount of blood and just loved the junkyard dog in which Mason Jones went out there and showed that he is. I'm going to scramble a little bit here in terms of what's next. The flyweight division is absolutely stacked. I want to make sure if I'm going to call someone out, it's got to be a good name. It's got to make sense. But I also want to hear from my buddy here to the left of me, or right, I guess, depending on your orientation of the screen. How'd you feel about this one, man? I know we obviously did the preemptive shot, but anything stood out? And do you have a name on the tip of the tongue for both these guys, for that matter, in the lightweight division?
Well, I mean, you got to have something to say about the old dog versus the young lion matchup, right? Stevens, longtime UFC veteran, went outside of the UFC, made a name for himself, as Gambit would say, made a name for himself out there in BKFC. Real killer be killed style, right? Came back to the UFC with a chip on his shoulder. But Mason Jones was ready for everything he had to bring to the table. From the opening bell, Jones pushed a relentless pace, mixed up the volume striking with well-timed takedowns. Steven landed a few heavy shots, as he always does, but Jones was able to weather the storm as if nothing happened. When the thunder struck, he didn't even shudder, bro. He made it clear he was the fresher, more versatile fighter and the better mixed martial artist, albeit possibly the less powerful and explosive striker inside the octagon. What stood out was honestly how Jones didn't just outwork Stevens, he outsmarted him, right? He avoided the brawl when he needed to. He used clean angles, cut clean angles, mixed in grappling, just enough to keep Stevens guessing. Whether it was at distance or, I mean, honestly, like everywhere this fight went, I felt like Mason Jones was ahead. And I mean that mentally and physically, right? I just think this was a clear passing of the torch, man. Great job coming back into the UFC for Stevens. Do I think we need to see something else from him? I don't know, man. I don't know. Yes, I have some names on the tip of my tongue. It's tough though with somebody like this because there's so many different ways you can take it, and you don't want to burn him out, right? Because Mason Jones showed that he's a guy. He's a guy that you really do want to watch. He's a strong son of a gun. And I mean, maybe you put him in there against, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Am I being crazy and saying like a Joel Alvarez?
Ooh, that's a big son of a gun and a big name and a very enticing one.
Or a Mateus Rebecki?
Ooh, I do like Rebecki. I think I'm probably more in that Rebecki territory. I was even thinking one of the Bonfim brothers. I hate to be that guy, but someone in that neck of the woods, right? You know, two people. I mean, someone that's been around the block, always willing to answer the bell, is in a good range where one of them next is going to be maybe ready for a guy, right, so to speak. You can't be mad with anybody. Again, this division is absolutely stacked. You put this in a Russian roulette, or just ask Siri to pick one, and they'll come up with a good name.
Absolutely. I mean, you could throw anybody outside of the top 10 in a hat, like names, and just draw one, and you're good to go in lightweight. It's gonna be a banger no matter what. Speaking of a banger, dude, Cameron Smotherman and Serhiy Sidey. Jeez. I mean, we were both on Smotherman pretty heavy here, huh?
Yeah, we were smothering the man. We were not.
What happened?
Yeah, he had his moments. I think there was a path for him, but no, I mean, it wasn't his thing. It wasn't his thing. Serhiy had something to say about it.
Oh man, Serhiy. That guy went out there and just went. He landed an onslaught of takedowns, bro. Attempted an onslaught of takedowns. 12 attempts? That's nasty stuff, dude. Lands 5 of them, 41.7% clip, 55 out of 132 significant strikes. His opponent did, as you say, have moments, right? He attempted 134 strikes, landed 58. Outlanded his opponent, actually, in significant strikes. Got outlanded on total strikes, and of course, just got smothered, man. I mean, I don't know if you heard me. I said he just got smothered, man. Smotherman? Right. That's fine. I'll see myself out. No, I mean, this was a tough watch. This was one of my least favorite fights on the entire card. I thought it was a fight IQ situation here, man. It was a bit of a deficit here. Cameron Smotherman, luckily, is a very, very young guy. Like, he looks, I said this on the live watch along, not sure if you saw it, but if not, hey, tune into the replay, bro. It was a good time. He looks like he's a middle schooler, bro. Like, he looks like he's literally like 12, 14 years old. He's so young. And he's already 15, or sorry, he's already 12-5. Like, dude's a beast. I'm excited to watch this kid grow. But I'm just as excited to watch Serhiy Sidey now. Nano, what stood out to you most about this fight, and who do you have next for Serhiy Sidey on the tip of your tongue?
Yeah, man, this was definitely a fun one here in the bantamweight division. Obviously, that's where the night ended up going. But these two guys put on a masterclass performance, really went tit for tat. But I think that to answer your question most directly in terms of what stood out, it was the grappling. You know, obviously the takedowns and his ability and really just willingness to stick with it was impressive. Really, really good time, like well-timed shots. And took advantage, cut off the octagon like we were kind of talking about here, and not to butcher a good joke here, but he smothered the man. Yeah, he smothered the man in front of him by just really cutting off the octagon, using those angles, and using his strength in that grappling sense, right? Getting Cameron up against the fence, taking them down, controlling them, you know, putting in some good work. But Cameron had his moments as well. I mean, he had some special flashes. You could tell, man, a lot of the clay is there for him to be sculpted into a high-class performer. And I think brighter days are definitely ahead, but it was a tricky one. Certainly just a tricky one for Serhiy, and you got to give him the credit where credit's due. It was the threats he continued to pose, which again, the camera didn't have an answer for. So I think that's what stood out to me, but you got to tip the cap to, a good performance when you see it. In terms of what's next for Double S, this is a tricky one, man. This is a tricky one. There's a lot of good names here. I mean, Yana was thrown out earlier. I mean, maybe that's just top of mind. That feels like a really, really fun fight potentially. I don't know what's going on with the dangerous Davy Grant, but I feel like Davy Grant might be another fun stylistic matchup, unless you're trying to see maybe a true kind of well-rounded fighter versus another well-rounded fighter, in which case there is a Monster that just fought recently, always looking to get back out. I like looking at guys that fight relatively close together, because that means maybe they both have enough time to get off and then get back into camp. But now I'm just rambling. What do you think, brother? Do you have any names top of mind?
Well, there was another young man that we were just now talking about, just what feels like last week, that I think makes a lot of sense, my guy. Malcolm the Machine Wellmaker. I think that's probably a great litmus test for both young men. But I oftentimes don't like to do that because you're burning out one bright burning star, right? So I don't know, man. Maybe you put him in there against somebody a little bit less, like a Mongolian knight, Alatang Hali, or somebody that you think or that you rather thought was going to be a rising star that people have started to turn on, right? You put him in there against Raul Rosas Jr. I think that's a fun matchup for him. I think it'd be a really, really good test again for both people. And I think Serhiy Sidey is one of those guys that will force you to be exciting to an extent. So might be a good thing for Raul Rosas Jr. to get out there and fight that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. Let's go.
I feel good about it. Now it is time for a match that took place in the bantamweight division, folks. But before then, it's going to be one of those nights. I have one poured up. I'm sure you still have a sippy sip of wine left there, because we were both super fucking wrong on that one, man. Cheers to all like 20 of you that are here. Cheers to Lazy Bed. Cheers to Trigger. Cheers to Lane. Trigger, do another shot of Crown, my guy. You want to. We know it. And cheers to each and every one of you that are going to be watching this on repeat. We know you'll be here. Make sure you smash the likes right about now. Just smash that comment button, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications. You want to know when we're live, when we're doing these kinds of things, so you can join in. Speaking of which, join in now. Cheers, folks. Let's go. See, I was just waiting for the right time, Boom, boom. Drink is in. We in. Serhiy Sidey, or as I like to call him, the slightly smaller, less fun Dan Hooker. Couple tattoos, and he's got the look down. Oh my God, I hate you so much, Lazy Bed.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. God damn. Oh, with that being said, Nano. We got a bantamweight bout to go talk about now, between Montel Jackson and Daniel Marcos. I told you someone's was gonna go. Oh, and little did they know it would be not just Marcos, but also Bo. But don't worry, we'll talk about that for show. Nano, tell the people what you thought about this fight between Montel and Daniel Marcos.
It was a fun one, man. It was a fun, grindy, windy fight. It was something that I felt like, I was really hyping up, just really in terms of like the crowd I was with, some of the friends and family, let them know we got Montel quick Jackson going out there, and it might be a quick night. But people definitely like Daniel Marcos and his veracity and his ability to go out there and stalemate Montel at times. I mean, it was a back and forth affair. But if I'm being totally honest, Montel Quick Jackson did enough to get his hand raised. I don't think Daniel Marcos, for whatever reason, liked the decision, but when you look at the numbers and really just watching the fight, just felt like Montel Jackson was really leading the dance. You know, I mean, we could look at that first round, tripled the amount of total strikes landed for Montel Quick Jackson. Again, the 1-2 and his speed really was established early. And frankly, you could just tell there was going to be a bit of a difference there. And Daniel Marcos, although he's known for his toughness and his ability to throw some heavy leather as well, I mean, he really just didn't have an answer for the takedowns, which I found surprising. I thought that might have been his better path to victory. Montel Jackson showed that he has the IQ in terms of the fighting IQ there to really know how to complement the striking with, again, really good wrestling, really good grappling. I mean, he landed 1 out of 4 takedowns in that first round, got stuffed in the second round, but then he did go 1 for 3 all in all. Went 2 for 8. Daniel Marcos, again, went 3 for 7. Not that Daniel Marcos wasn't trying to go out there and take care of business in that realm, but it just felt like Montel Jackson had a response or had an answer for every time Daniel Marcos tried to do something or try to rebuttal, right? It just felt like Montel was a little too quick for him. I gotta make the joke while I had the opportunity there. Thank you, my brother. Good enough myself. I was gonna walk right past it, but I had to. But what about you, brother? I mean, what stood out to you, man? I mean, what do you think's next for this Montel Quick Jackson here? As he's quickly rising to the top. I think there's somebody just a few spots ahead of him that he can easily match up well with. But I want to dish it back to you, my brother. How you feeling about this one?
Yeah, man. As always, great breakdown, bro. Look, dude, Montel Jackson is nasty. He is nasty. He's long. He's strong. He's got massive, massive hands. He's fighting in a very stacked division. He comes in with, the ability to fight in both stances. That southpaw power, freakish reach. Marcos brought in an undefeated record, as I said, was probably likely to go. And I said he had sharp boxing, right? I said he had very, very sharp boxing. I mentioned this last week ad nauseum. But I also said that he had to fight a perfect 15-minute fight, and Jackson just needed to have moments. And that was very true because Marcos looked really good. He actually looked like the better fighter in the beginning of that fight, but then Montel started clipping him, and Marcos started to fight with a much more timid approach. And that's virtually what lost him the fight, right? Montel hits like a son of a gun, bro. He hits like an absolute freight train in there. So, I mean, I don't know, man, dude. There's a number of different ways you could take Montel Jackson in a very stacked bantamweight division. The question is, how high up the totem pole do you really want to pole vault them, right? And do you want a winnable fight for him, or do you want a fight in which he's going to actually get, significantly tested? Do you want to put him in there against a legend, or do you want to put him in there against a possible other rising star? Because however you answer that significantly changes my answer. You say you want to put him in there against a legend, win or lose, you put him in there against Jose Aldo after that Ayman Zahabi fight, which he's likely to lose. Let's call a spade. Or you put him in there against a Rob Font coming off of 2 back-to-back decision wins following 2 back-to-back decision losses. And if you say, well, we don't want to put him in there against a legend, he's not ready for that quite yet. Let's put him in there against another rising contender and see how he does. That's easy. You put him in there against Vinicius Loke-Dog Oliveira, or you put him in there against Marcus the Maniac McGee. None of those guys have fights scheduled. So why the fuck not? Like, am I wrong? Am I on crazy pills here, bro?
You're definitely not. No, I like both of those names for different reasons. To your point, what is the logic? What is the thought behind it? Because you got to be thoughtful, right? I mean, obviously, you everything has to make sense, but at this stage, when you're getting to this top, you have a number next to your name. Let's just call it what it is, right? You're in the top 15 year rank. They can't just be necessarily willy-nilly. Obviously, timing is everything, right? So let's not, I mean, to your point, right? Like post-fight, that could make sense. That is on the horizon. So maybe a Montel Jackson's looking to wait a little bit. Maybe he suffered an injury, or not trying to cause rumors. I'm just saying, hey, maybe he wants some time, willing to wait, especially if it is against Jose Aldo. I mean, as a competitor, right? I mean, if you or me were called up and, hey, Jose wants to roll with you or he wants to beat you up a little bit, I'm saying hell fucking yeah. Where do I go?
Signing the waiver.
I'm signing the waiver.
I'm setting up cameras. I don't care. Let's
I'm taking that. I don't think anyone would say no to that one, just as a competitor, as a fight fan, right? But if not, I think someone ranked right above, actually, I guess below, but above in terms of numbers. Below, I'm here in this sense. No, I'm confusing myself. Okay, I'm just going to say the name. Kyler Phillips, y'all. That's who I'm talking about. I think that's the name I'm looking at the 12 spot. I did have a brain fart there. Because he's above him in terms of numbers, but not above in the rankings. I didn't want to mislead y'all. But I like a Kyler Phillips. Let it be known.
I like Kyler Phillips a lot. He's definitely somebody that I looked at. I don't know, man. I think Montel, you almost want to give him somebody else that's riding win streaks. That's the only reason I said Marcus McGee and Vinicius over him. But I mean, Kyler he's a good product, man. Matrix he's the guy. And the only person that he's really lost to, other than Halle and Paiva and like the beginning of his UFC career, right, was fucking Rob Fonch, Hobby Fonch. And I called that. Like, Hob Fonch lit him up with that jab. Shout out, Drew. What up, Drew? Love seeing you in the chat, big guy. Hope you had a great Wednesday. Hump day. Halfway through the week, brother. We are almost there. Man. Got to play some rounds of Fortnite with you, bro. This new Star Wars season is fucking nice, mate. Fucking nice. They're calling it Battlefront 3 officially. I mean, they just as well. We've been begging for a Battlefront game for years. That's what people hoped. We'd get an announcement for a Star Wars celebration, and instead we got a Fortnite announcement. And I mean, it does feel like Battlefront 3, so we'll fucking take it. Okay? We'll fucking take it. Marcus McGee is nice. Thanks, bro.
I think that's the one, honestly.
I think it's a solid call. Man. We were both on the Ponzi scheme, huh? Fucking hell.
Were we? Probably. I feel like, honestly, I don't know.
Were you on D-Rod?
I might have been on D-Rod, to be honest, because I'm like,
might have been on
D-Rod. My Mexican brethren? The uncle that looks like he's ready to whip some ass, and that's basically what we got, honestly. Man. But hey, we're in this together. So we might have been, I might have did it just to be contrarian, but either way, I'm not mad about it because that was a great fight, That was a great fight, man. Great fight.
I think we have two left to do.
We do.
Because I know the next one. I'm talking about it. We did both say that Reinier De Ridder had passed to victory.
Man.
I digress. Drew, you're watching this shit. Pour one up, brother. We'll wait.
We will.
And while we wait, my goodness. No.
Sheesh.
Take the lead on this. I mean,
this is a fun one, man.
What a win for D-Rod.
What a huge win for D-Rod. What a staple victory. The emotions he let out after, I think, really just encapsulated, how I felt. I think where he's at in his career and just how important that was. And really just hell of a fight. Again, I mean, pillar to post. Like, it was nothing but violence. Santiago tried to do what he could in terms of, his movement and mixing up his feet and frankly trying to do something to stall. I would say stop, but really just stall a what felt like a freight train coming at you in Daniel Rodriguez. But really from the jump, the boxing was evident that Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod, had a advantage there and was ready to put it on him. I mean, he hit him with a couple big shots in that first round, had Santiago what felt like walking on stilts. But Santiago was smart. He used his fight IQ. He tried to shoot in for some takedowns. Those got stuffed. Honestly, I think by that second stuffed takedown, I'm like, oh, man, this D-Rod's going to have that moment. Like, feels like it's his night. Obviously, anything can happen. Obviously, he can run out of steam. You never know. All it takes is one punch. But I was sitting there thinking D-Rod is looking really sharp with his hands. Santiago's not able to get to the grappling, not able to get him to the ground. I think he was potentially knocked down in that first round. I think D-Rod, I mean, it was borderline. Definitely hit him with something hard. Fast forward to the second round, look no further than a highlight finish, ESPN, on social media, viral moment for D-Rod Rodriguez. So much so that Santiago was running into the cage, running after the opponent, thinking he was still fighting. It was, again, quite the scene, quite the spectacle, but quite the moment for D-Rod. Loved everything about it, man. Yeah, so love seeing boxers go out there and box, man, metaphorically. Obviously, we're talking MMA here. And I know it was mentioned earlier that these were much more exciting than the boxing matches, which, yeah, it was a boring Canelo fight. Let's just call a spade there. Since I had a chance to talk about it, I'm going to say it. And yeah, man, Dana Rodriguez opened up a can of whoop ass. I'll dish it back to you. How did you feel? And what's next for a D-Rod, if you had a name top of mind?
And yeah, I had to scroll up and find that comment since you called it up. What up, Anomaly? What up, Nano? Salute emoji. One of my favorite emojis in recent days. The UFC fights were awesome, especially compared to boxing. Man, I think the only good boxing match this weekend was the Inoue fight, right?
The firefighter versus the cop. Is that
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Was it on the same card?
Yeah, on the like Rolly Romero Garcia.
Oh, I was talking about the one on, I think it was Sunday that it happened. The Inoue card. The dude from Japan. He's incredible, bro.
Nice.
If you haven't checked his fights out, he is incredible. Naoya Inoue. Yeah, dude's an absolute beast. He's 30-0 with 27 KOs.
Jeez.
And people have been like, "Oh, but he only fights in Japan," and so now he just won in the T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah, is that good? I don't know. You tell me.
He headlined the card too, so I mean,
come on, yo, come on, man.
He's the dude is the truth. I don't care who you are. He also got dropped in that fight, and got back up and still won. Dude is the truth. Dude, we got to get Jake in here to talk about this kid because I know he's seen him fight, and I know he'd get hyped talking about him. Yeah, dude. Naoya Inoue is the guy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure you know Matt from Yelp. You remember Matt from Yelp? He's in the MMA group chat.
Yes,
he is obsessed with Naoya Inoue.
Okay.
The first time I saw Naoya fight was literally when we first moved out to San Diego, when Matt helped us move. He happened to be fighting that weekend. We watched the UFC fights. It was Anderson Silva versus... Was it Anderson Silva versus Israel Adesanya, maybe, possibly? I don't know. I digress. It was a fun fight night. And then right after we watched that, we watched the Naoya Inoue fights, and he's like, "Yeah, this guy's really good." And I'm like, "How the fuck do you know who this guy is, bro?" I know you watch boxing.
Yeah, and dialed in.
I mean, bro, it was like something just woke up in me. I was ready, bro. I was fucking ready to watch this guy fight every time moving forward. Ponzi hit the Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz stumble. He really, really did. And with or without Drew, I got a shot to do in this one. Drew, we'll see you for the next shot, fucker. So if you've made it this far, we're a little over an hour in. There's over 20 of you watching at this point. I'm going to do my favorite cheers, as I do probably every other episode at this point. Cheers to lying, cheating, and stealing. If you lie, may you lie next to a loved one. If you steal, may you steal the hearts of many. And if you cheat, may you cheat death or the bookies at Vegas. Cheers to you and lying, cheating, and stealing.
Salute. I love it. That's too funny. It's too good, y'all. I
love that cheers. It's so good because 90% of the time when you say it to somebody for the first time, they're like, they're holding their glass out and they're like, to lying, cheating, stealing. They like pull their glass back a little bit and you're like, hold the fuck up. You finish it and they're like, hey, all right, hold on. Let me give me a phone now. Let me record that. Looking at you,
Let me remember that one. Like,
looking at you, Sav Jelly. That was literally how that played out the first time I did it. I did it with her around and she's like, what the fuck? Lying, cheating, and stealing. And then I did it and she's like, oh my God. Why is that going to make me cry? Can I take my phone out and record that? Can we do it again? I was like, yeah, but we have to do another shot. And she's like, oh, fuck. Okay. So we did. It's great times. What wasn't great times was watching Ponzi Scheme go out there and just get beat up, man. I felt like D-Rod did exactly what he needed to do, right? The boxing was on point. The way that he was able to dictate the pace of the fight was just nasty work. No. I think he did a perfect job explaining the fight, breaking it down. There's not really a whole lot of meat left on the bone, if I'm being honest. Kind of a dick move, bro.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
I could tell you're eating it all. No, bro, it was a nice one. It was a nice breakdown for a nice fight, right? For a nice co-host. Dude, left hook Larry and right hook Ricky. Can we just like give it up for those guys both making an appearance on Saturday? Come on. I think she just love to see. Let's go. A bit of both, baby. Yeah, this was a fun fight. Santiago, I think 31-9. He's had 40 professional fights at this point in time. And if I'm being completely honest, he doesn't seem like he's getting any better. He doesn't seem like he's improving his mixed martial arts game at all. So for my better judgment here, Nano, and again, kick me off my stool if I'm being crazy, I think it might be time for him to hang him up. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's tough because like I hate saying this guy should retire, this guy should quit, but Santiago Ponzinibbio, like there's no title run in the imminent future for him, and you don't necessarily want to throw him in there against legends because I just don't know. I don't think he's the most exciting fighter in the world. Daniel Rodriguez though, 19-5, still a lot of tread on the tires. Man, licking my lips while he's licking his chops, bro. Because the dude looked good out there on Saturday night. 66 significant strikes out of 166 to 49. I mean, 70 total strikes to 50. Stuffed 7 out of 8 takedowns. Didn't even attempt one of his own, Nano. He said, miss me with those takedowns, bro. Not for me, dude. Just shucked him off of him one of those times. And I mean, he had him doing the stanky leg. Or as Trigup said, the Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz stumble. Brother, it was bad news bears out there for him. Look, I'm going to call a spade a spade. I think what's next for D-Rod should be things that get him closer to the title, because the man doesn't have a ton of tread left on the tires, right? Like I said, he's only 19-5, so there's plenty of tread left on the tires. But make no mistake, the dude was born in 1986. He's 38 years old. In MMA years, like he's not got a ton of time left. 3 years max, I'd say, especially in the welterweight division. If he's heavyweight, sure, let him go to. He's like fucking 48. We've seen how that plays out. Yeah, I mean, for my better money, you got to see this guy get a major step up if it's going to mean anything. Now, again, Nano, call me crazy here. I'm going to throw out 2 names in the top 15. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Colby Chaos Covington. Both coming off back-to-back losses. They can't necessarily ask for what they want to be on their plate. They just kind of have to eat the slop Dana gives them. Now, I'm by no means calling Daniel Rodriguez slop, but I am saying that both of these guys would probably look at him like that and say, I don't want to take that fight. Not because it tastes bad, but because it's dangerous. Right? It probably looks like a steak dinner to him. But that steak dinner could be poisoned. Right? Could be nasty. Could be bad. Could kill them. Looking at you, D-Rod. You nasty motherfucker. In the best way. Nano, who do you have on the tip of your tongue, brother?
I like both those names a lot. And I mean, just for the breakdown itself, or for the sales pitch, I mean, spoken like a true salesman. I love it, brother. You got me sold over here. But no, those are great names. I mean, to your point, I think that's the reality. It's like with the D-Rod, honestly, I'll watch him fight anybody. I think Santiago was a great dance partner. Geoff Neal, okay, maybe not anybody. Let me rephrase that, Tricky D. You're getting ahead of yourself now.
I'm sorry. Geoff Neal needs to fight Carlos Prates, brother. Sikahachi. Like that fight was the original fight that was supposed to happen before Ian Gary stepped up and ruined the hype train. I'm sorry. For my money, that's the one that's got to happen. Geoff Neal versus Carlos Prates. I think you got to reschedule that.
Yep, so that might be the one then. And honestly, if not, if you want to go lower down the totem pole a little bit, I would maybe stay out of the top 15. I just don't know if D-Rod's in a position where he's trying to go for a title shot. But, hey, man, you want to see him go out there and swing and bang? What about a Carlos the Lion Leal, right? Somebody that is a proven striker who may have had some weight problems, but D-Rod doesn't care. He'll go out there and he'll fight him anytime, any place, anywhere. So I guess the same as any place. But, yeah. That's the name I got, and I'm sticking to it, y'all.
Anyone, anytime, any place, I think is the phrase you're looking for, my friend.
That's exactly what it is.
It's okay, brother. I got you.
That's why you're here.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Appreciate you.
I'm also here for the shots, which we have one more to do. Goodness gracious. This is the happiest one I'll take all night. Man. Reinier De Ridder versus Bo Nickel in middleweight. Look, I'm just going to make the joke. I'm going to make the joke and then I'll see myself out. Okay, folks. It was Reinier De Ridder versus Bo Nickel, but after Saturday, it had me saying faux nickel. Am I right? Faux nickel? Faux nickel. No?
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Tough grab.
Man, RDR smashed nickel into 5 pennies. Yes. Yes, Trigger D. Also, as I pour this shot up, before we get into the breakdown of the actual fight, Nano, did you see Thunderbolts yet?
I have not, man. I have not. I've seen Sinners, which was a great movie. I highly recommend y'all go check out Sinners if it's still in your local theaters. I'm pretty sure it is. But no, man. Honestly, Thunderbolts is on my list. I want to try to go this weekend. Try to squeeze it in. We got some chores to do, but chores could always use a little break. And why not?
I highly recommend seeing it in IMAX.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
We saw it in the IMAX RDX or whatever. It was fire.
Solid.
Mary was scared because of the sounds.
Oh, jeez.
She's like, is it supposed to be this loud? Is it like, am I crazy? Is it loud? Nice. I'm like, no, this is part of the thing.
It's a whole thing. It's part of the experience.
Yeah. Right.
Good to know.
Gunshots hitting the movie and you're all
fatality.
Like, oh, jeez. Who dare?
It was nice. It was a nice experience. And
hell yeah.
Like for comic book readers, I feel like that movie is like chef's kiss. For non-comic book readers, I feel like it's like, what the fuck? Chef's kiss? Like, confused chef's kiss. Because like Mary doesn't read comics. I do. I love that I felt like Christmas came early, bro. I could hear the Christmas bells already. And right after the movie, I was like, what did you think? And I'm trying like be emotionless, because like when I was watching the movie, I was like, ask her how she felt. What'd you think of the movie, babe? And she's like, I thought it was fantastic. I honestly thought it was one of the better Marvel movies I've seen in recent years. I like it just felt different. And I won't say anything else because I don't want to give you any spoilers, but man, I'm stoked for you to see it.
Yes. I can't wait.
I'm stoked for you to see it, man. I am stoked for you to see it. Nano, do this cheers lead out for the man that is known as not a penny, not a dime, definitely not a quarter after Saturday night. He's known as Bo Nickel. But I say we do the shot for Reinier De Ridder.
Yeah. I think that's really what you got to do because he earned my respect. So I'll cheers to the new kid on the block, to the guy that's shutting up the naysayers and doing what nobody thinks can be done. Let's drink to that, to being what, dare I say, an MMA anomaly. May you be an MMA anomaly in life. Cheers to y'all. Thank you for being here. Salud.
Let's go. And you're never late, Juice Man.
Never, never. Better late than never, big dog. Great to see you, Juice. The juice is loose.
Juice Man, I feel like you're a bit of a wizard. And as Gandalf says, a wizard is never late. A wizard always arrives precisely when they mean to. So, my friend, you are right here. Oh, my God. Were your ears ringing right now? You should rewind 1 minute, actually, because you are late. Everything I said was a lie. I just talked about Thunderbolts and basically pitched this guy on going and seeing it in IMAX because I thought it was a fucking incredible ride.
You did ask me the same thing. That was just disgust. But it is on my list to answer your
Juice
question
Man. Juice Man, I want to have an offline, or I mean, I guess technically an online conversation, but off the record conversation because I don't want to post any like spoilers for anybody. I hate when people do that shit. Send me a DM on my @MMAnomaly account on anything, Instagram, fucking X, whatever. I definitely want to talk to you. He said it was good. The IMAX threw me off though. Okay, bro, that was part of the conversation I literally just had with Nano. The IMAX literally like scared my significant others numerous times. So yeah.
Good to know.
It's I'm telling you, go see it in IMAX. Fantastic. It was a fantastic experience in my opinion. Western Mass Climber. Let's go. Cheers to you, my friend. We're always happy to see you in the chat. And we'd love to know what you thought of this Reinier De Ridder fight against Bo Nickel. Nano, give us your thoughts, my guy.
It was an interesting one, right? I mean, a lot of hype. I was nervous going into it, which I haven't felt that way in quite some time, really because I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if Bo Nickel was going to be able to step up to the plate. I didn't know what kind of junkyard dog or Reinier De Ridder is, but boy, oh boy, was I in for a good showcase, and for as long as it lasted, obviously. I do think it was pretty apparent. I mean, Reinier is a big boy, right, at 6'3". And honestly, it was one of those things like when you turn on the tape, real quick here, Western Mass Climber, a wizard arrives for a toast. Always. A wizard is always arriving when a toast is had. You know this? And a toast was had Saturday night for that kind of performance. Again, Reinier is an absolute dog. And when I turn on the tape, I just couldn't help but think like he has a lot of it's just a lot of heart, man. Like he fights big and strong, and like when the going got tough, like he toughened up, man. The tough get going, right? I mean, obviously I modified it a little bit there, but you know, he really steps up to the plate when he needs to. So I, frankly, was impressed by his ability to stuff takedowns, his strength in there. And I think a lot of that is just knowing the fundamentals, right? I mean, obviously, he is a true fighter. He's a mixed martial artist. And you've seen the IQ show itself in some of those situations where a Bo Nickel just, I don't care how strong. I mean, maybe they're the same strength. Honestly, I think RDR might just be bigger, stronger, more technically sound than a Bo Nickel. I hate to say it, but, you know, I do think was surprising to see Bo Nickel go down. That liver shot must have really hurt him, right? The knee to the body. But Bo will bounce back. I think RDR had a good sentiment for him. Like, hey, just stay off social media for a little while. Stay in the lab. You'll be fine. It'll all blow over. And I think that's probably the best advice you could give a Bo Nickel, who definitely is feeling probably like a penny right now because he definitely failed, right? I mean, that's his first O, but if he's gonna learn, no better time than now. And again, big shout out to Reinier for really shutting up the naysayers. I don't think anybody was giving him enough credit. I don't think anybody thought he really had a chance. And he went out there and whooped up Dana White's boy, right? Like, this your boy? This is what you got? Keep him coming. I did see a rumor that he might have Rob Whittaker next. I would love for that matchup. I think at this point, again, give RDR what you want. That's a really, really fun fight. And again, just a stylistic fight I think I'd love to see, right? A champion of another division, other league coming in to fight our guy, right? Our hometown champion in a Robert Whittaker. Sign me up for that. But before I keep going, I'm dish it back to the co-host over here, MMAnomaly. What do you think, man? Looks like Juice Man thinks RDR is him. Do you agree?
I think he's Timothée Chalamet, bro. He's the guy. He's the guy. Look, Reinier De Ridder took Bo Nickel out. Let's just call a spade. Coming in, all eyes were on Nickel, the shiny, shiny Nickel. Yeah. NCAA wrestling phenom, undefeated, dominant, hyped as one of the UFC's future champions, has been saying that he thinks Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling is weak. But right there, the former one-double champ, Nano, Juice Man, everybody else in the chat, let me tell you, my guys, my girls, my friends, Reinier De Ridder, he obviously did not read the script that the UFC sent him, right? He crumbled that shit up, threw it in the trash can. He probably yelled, Kobe, and that's why it made it into the trash can, because we know that helps with accuracy. It's a fact, folks. It's a fact. From the opening moments, though, De Ridder showed no fear of the takedown, stayed composed, and picked his shots. Bo got in deep on a few shots. He was deep. But De Ridder used his length, his jiu-jitsu, his veteranship, dare I say, to scramble out of the bad positions and keep the fight in his world. And unfortunately for Bo Nickel, everywhere the fight goes is Reinier De Ridder's world. So it was always bound to be a tough night for him. I said this last week, and I should have really just went with my guns, but I've been hurt before betting against Bo. I didn't think I was ready to be hurt again. So with that being said, look, once it hit the mat on his terms, Reinier De Ridder showed why he's one of the most decorated guys out there. I mean, he only attempted one takedown, and he made it look easy when he got it. Oh, and by the way, we cashed that bet. Come on! I tell you people. If he tries to get a takedown, he's probably gonna get a takedown, and then the money. Let's go. It covers all the rest of the bets, which the rest of the bets did shit the bed. But that one covered the spread. You know what? It's okay. It's okay. So Reinier De Ridder, everyone else, it's like again. It's okay. It's okay though. It was a great night for bets. It was a great night for us. Breaking even is okay because we're up for the year, and now we're still there. We're still there. Now, no. There are names on the tip of my tongue. But I don't like them. Okay? I don't like them. Let me tell you why. Because I think Reinier De Ridder is either ready for a title shot or ready for a number one contender shot. Right? So, you know what? Before I bite off more than I can chew, I took the lead last time on what's next. Who do you have on the tip of your tongue, bro?
Man, I think just because I saw it on social media and I just can't get the thought out of my head, I'm going to go with Robert Whittaker. I'm going to go Robert Whittaker as the person who's next. I don't think Rob's necessarily fine for a title next. He is a few wins away, but so is a Reinier at this point. I mean, why not give him one of the best we have to offer at this point? I mean, you got through Bo Nickel. No one really thought you were. I really like a Robert Whittaker. I don't even care where the standings are and all that. Feels like it makes sense in my gut, my heart. And like we said earlier, I'd pay to see it. So stick that on a pay-per-view and sign me up. What are your thoughts there? And do you have any other names? You mentioned you have a few. Anyone that stands out above the rest?
So, I mean, the main one that I have is the loser of Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev.
Ooh, okay.
I think you sign him up to fight the loser of that one, and then if he wins, he gets the title shot. Otherwise, the two names that come to mind for me, and again, I hate to say it, but Sean Strickland or Nasruddin Imavov.
Ooh, I like them both.
The one I'd most rather see, or like most like to see, is Sean Strickland, just because he called for it, and I think he does bad things to Strickland. I think he ruins a lot of people's nights, and I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I also think the betting lines would open in a great way for us to bet on RDR.
I think so.
Vegas, if you're listening, we're going to smash the line on Strickland. He's totally going to win. Facts. He's going to crush him. Knock him out like he has his last 15 opponents. He's a knockout artist. I mean that. I swear. I swear. I really do. I mean it. I'm tired of people bashing 3-1, 315. Even the prelims are good in my... Oh, my God. Juice Man. Were you here for the live stream? Because we talked about this on the live stream too. Dude, come on. Grasso Silva is anyone's main event. Let's go, brother. I mean, hold on. I know exactly the soundboard to hit for this one. I can only do that one for like 5 seconds. Otherwise, George Michael will literally hit me with a fucking thing on YouTube. Yeah. Every time.
It's a real thing.
If you love that song, it is a George Michael song. So definitely check that out. We do not own the rights to that. Oh, man. We definitely do not own the rights to that. I am repeating. You know what? You guys got that, right?
I think so.
So if that's the case, then I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. Test the waters, folks. Because Bo Nickel already did, and man, we saw how that turned out for him. We really did. Nano. With that being said, we got a main event to go over now, man. Cory the Sandman. Take my hand, off to break your leg land. You know what I'm saying? He just snapped Deiveson Figueiredo's knee. It was nasty stuff. You can see our live reactions to it. Bro! Zach Dolan. Olin! I'm only 5 hours late. Let's go.
I thought we were late, but everyone else is late tonight, huh?
Brother. As long as you're here, it's okay.
It's okay.
We're happy to see you. You know what I say? Oh man, we are so happy to see you. And you know what else we're happy to see? This main event, because we called it exactly as it went. For the most part, I mean, we thought it was pretty much gonna be one-way traffic, right? Nano, you know what? I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. I know you did the last one, but I also led the show first. So I'd like to let you finish the show with the first breakdown.
Fair. I appreciate it. And I'll make sure to not be too selfish here and leave a little meat on the bones here, because I do know this is a fun one that I do want to hear your thoughts on as well. But yeah, I mean, to your point, man, I mean, Cory Sandhagen went out there and just put on another masterclass performance. I mean, I almost feel like we're spoiled rotten when it comes to these vintage, just properly executed, almost flawless victories here, just continuing to stack up for Cory Sandhagen. And it really has just felt like, why has he not gotten that title shot, right? What else does he need to do? What are we missing? Obviously, that loss to an Umar Nurmagomedov didn't help, but he pushed him to a full 25 minutes. He really outside of that, again, has like no other blemishes. I mean, yeah, he lost to Peter Yan, but that was back in 2021 when Peter Yan was still a world beater. I do think it's Cory's time, though, man. I mean, there's no better time than now. He called this shot. He's ready. He said if he wants the UFC to make him the backup or to go out there and dress, he'll do the part. And I believe him, and I think he should. And I do think he's probably what's next. Ideally, Sugar Sean wins, and then it's a Sugar Sean versus a Cory Sandhagen. Just love to see it, but probably not going to happen. So,
all right, I said that was the last shot, but I'm actually pouring one up for Zach because shout out to Zach, bro.
Legendary.
He said it's 6 a.m. around here and it's minus 13. I'm still not recovering from. I read this twice before I realized there was a not in there. I thought it said still recovering from Figgy fighting like Ryan Hall. I'm still not recovering from Figgy fighting like Ryan Hall. Oh, Zach. You know, you would think I'm doing a shot for you out of love, but I'm not. I'm doing a shot for you out of just sadness. Because, man, look. If Figgy was fighting like Ryan Hall, he probably would have won that exchange. Because Ryan Hall has a whole DVD instructional on 50-50 guard. And that was the exchange that cost him the fight. I mean, but let's be honest, no matter what, that was always going to be a tough fight. Right, Nano? I mean, the height, the age, the tenure, the style, basically every way you slice it, it was always going to be a tough one for the man to get done. So maybe he should go train with Ryan Hall. Again, he's the master of 50-50 guard, and it looks like our guy could use a little help. Matua says, ideally, Sugar Sean wins. Juice Man said, I hope O'Sally loses. If he wins, I'm going to lose my shit. Also, Juice Man said, I love this show, which before Zach even said it was 6 a.m. made me think we should probably do one more little celebratory sip. Because, I mean, we literally have the best chat in the fucking world. I never in my life thought that I would be comfortable talking into a microphone, A, and B, like never thought we'd have an excuse to hang out, drink, talk fights after you moved away. After we both kind of moved to different places, right? So, I mean, this show, this community we built and continue to build, there's almost 30 of you guys watching us right now. And from the bottom of my heart, I honestly can't be more thankful. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. If you do drink, raise one up with us. If you don't, you know, raise up whatever you raise up. Whether it's, you know, something to smoke or something to drink or a glass of water or just raw dog that H2O in front of you, you know, or just the oxygen, just the O, you know, raw dog that oxygen. Either way, we appreciate each and every one of you for showing up. And we can't wait to keep seeing you in each and every episode moving forward. Cheers, folks.
Salute. Appreciate y'all. Little late
Matua said, I'm surprised Ryan Hall wasn't screaming at Cory from his corner. He didn't need to. And also shout out Matua. Love seeing you in the chat as well, my friend. O'Malley loses 9 out of 10 times against Merab. Just saying.
Oh yeah, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, this guy right here is in Arizona. He is a big O'Malley fan, and he just said that. So
I know that.
Search your heart. You know it to be true. I have never watched one of these lives sober, and it'll stay that way. Zach! That's the aesthetic we strive for, my friend. And, you know, if you do watch sober, we don't judge you. We appreciate that you watch us. Just gives you more room to judge us, and that's fine too. So look, my friend, this fight went, again, exactly as I saw it going. The only difference is, the only thing that stood out a little bit different to me than what I projected in my mind's eye is this. Cory Sandhagen was even more dominant than I thought he was going to be. I said in the breakdown last week that I thought he was going to be a step ahead, right? Now, I thought he was going to have the edge anywhere this fight went, but I didn't think it was going to be 92-8. 92-8 is fucking wild, bro. 54-6 is equally as wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are the total strikes and significant strikes. By the way, guys and gals, they landed the same number of takedowns. For whatever that's worth. Come on. This was just an incredible showcase for Cory the Sandman Sandhagen. He truly showed that he is one of the best in the division right now. And if he continues his growth at this rate, he could prove to be one of the best in the division ever, right? If he's given the right opportunities to fight for a belt and to continue to grow. Man, did you hear what he said in the post-fight speech?
I'm blanking on. I just remember him calling out, saying he's ready for the title. Right? He was pretty emotional, which you don't really see him too often like that.
You're talking about the post-fight speech, that's my bad. That's what I said. I meant the post-fight presser.
I did not watch the post, not the presser. My bad.
No worries. So at the post-fight presser, they asked him about the pop and the knee and this, that, and the other. And he basically said that we were in 50-50 position. I train all the time with Ryan Hall. And anybody I train with for the most part, if we end up in 50-50, I am the king of 50-50 guard or 50-50 position. And it becomes a situation of you're going to give me top position, you're going to tap, or something is going to snap. And make no mistake, the way his knee popped, and I did feel it pop, was not an accident. It was not a mistake. It was because he didn't give me the position I was forcing him to give me. And so his leg, unfortunately, ended up in a bad position because of it. So he snapped that dude's knee on purpose, bro. That's nasty work, kid.
Savage. That's savage.
But I also said in the pre-breakdown, Cory Sandhagen said at the fucking media day, he was jokes, he was laughing, he was like, Zoinks like Scoop, I'm fucking a Shaggy meme. Like he was basically that guy, dude. And then they were like, hey, so we told your opponent that you've been making these funny videos, and we asked him what he thought, and he said, I don't have a sense of humor, and I only come here to cause pain and blood. This motherfucker went from like, well, that's great, because now I'm going to end his fucking life. All right. He just basically gave me an excuse to hate him.
Fatality.
I mean, he didn't say exactly those words, but if you read between the lines, he basically said those words. Basically. And you saw it. He fought with a different level of anger and just, I mean, the word that comes to mind is venom, bro.
Yeah. I
know that's their fight kit. Like that's a bit of a pun, but like pun intended, bro. He fought with a bit of venom, right? Yeah, the guy looked like an absolute fucking animal out there. I think you got to give this guy the title or the title shot. I mean, who else is there? I don't know, dude.
Nah, he's the guy. You have to. Especially at this point in Rob's career. I mean, he's fighting Sugar twice. It's like give Cory the gosh darn shot. Come on. If not now, then when? Yeah.
And before we call it a night, let's go to the chat real quick. Zach Dolan said, what did you guys score the Umar Cory fight? Never rewatched, but live, I had Cory winning rounds 1 and 2 and arguably winning a third round, but then everyone acted like it was a clear 50-45. It was not a clear 50-45. I scored it a clear 3-2, though. Umar in favor. I can't remember exactly which rounds. If I remember correctly, I think Umar won the in-between rounds. So, and this is just going off memory. If I remember correctly, I think it was 2, 3, and 4 for Umar and 1 and 4 for Cory, but I'll have to go back and rewatch that fight. But I did have Umar Nurmagomedov winning that fight. Also, Cory chose not to snap Figgy's leg because when he rolled the wrong way, Cory let go. Okay, Cory let go, but he still kept the foot pinned behind his shoulder and let his body weight drop on it for about a second and a half. And as someone who's rolled with white belts who didn't mean to do that kind of thing, obviously not that position, but, you know, learning a leg lock for the first time and they're squeezing too hard and things, you learn very quickly that people will do things, and depending on their level of training, it's either intentional or unintentional. Everything Cory did was intentional. He knew the level that he did it. He said he heard something pop, and that's when he released tension. So he knew the fight was done, kids. Like, as soon as you hear and it's, you have a hold around the knee, cool. Stand him up, because guess what? I'm gonna smash your boy. He can't fucking stand up.
It's over. It's over.
It's done. It's done, bro. If anything, like if I stand up and back off at that, like if he didn't tap at that point, Cory would have stood up and backed off. And then Deiveson would have tried to get up and he would have kicked that broken leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then imagine the damage he would have done, Nano.
I mean, that's forever. That's oof.
Like that's nasty stuff, bro. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, and we've seen people try and fight through stupid stuff like that. And it's like what are we doing here?
$1 million question.
Zach said, I mean, Cory was so comfortable out there. I don't think he even had to get into a fighting mindset. And especially after a 10-8 first round, his confidence was soaring. Look, me and Nano have, like, we don't agree on all things. In fact, we disagree more often than we agree when it comes to fighting things, right? But there's one thing we agree on unanimously, and that's confidence is one of the most dangerous things in mixed martial arts. A confident fighter will beat a better fighter. I'll say it again. A confident fighter will beat a better fighter. It's simply a fact. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Juice Man in the chat right now asking a really solid question. Juice Man 562 said, what are the odds to Grasso versus Silva? It's a great question. Let me tell you right now, my friend.
Ooh.
So Grasso versus Silva, we got a plus 205 Alexa Grasso and a minus 250 Natalia Silva. And who's your luck? That's my biggest toss-up of the night, Juice. Why would you do that to me? We haven't even I haven't rolled my notes for the breakdown, bro.
I know stuff.
Tape study tomorrow. Ay, ay, ay.
Not ready.
Okay.
Not ready.
I really like both of these fighters. Alexa Grasso has the much better boxing, and her jiu-jitsu is significantly good, but I can't say it's significantly better than Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva is riding a super good recency bias train here and has the Taekwondo quickness like nothing I've ever seen. Man.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Give me 5 seconds to cook here. Hold on. Oh, only minus 160? What the fuck is that? Okay, I was going to say you hedge plus 205 Alexa Grasso money line or the Natalia Silva by decision, but I mean, yeah, like what, an 80-point spread difference?
Not
on
bad.
Decision versus money line? That's not worth it, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what I'm saying. Like Natalia Silva being a minus 250 is pretty wild, Juice Man.
We're talking now.
All right. Man. Because look, if you put a unit on Alexa, money line, by the way, right now, I mean, one unit turns into 3.05. So if your units are $50, that's a 152.50 spread there. It's not terrible. That's not terrible. I just haven't looked at the card enough to know if there's better quality on here. I will tell you I like Modestas Bukauskas at -108 on a pick'em against Iwan Kudelaba. Bukauskas has shown a lot of improvement, and he's also the homie, so don't trust me on that. There's possibly a little bit of bias there.
Full disclosure.
Grasso easy money, boys, said Zach Dolan, and Juiceman562 said, I got Grasso with decision. Oof. Zach said, I need to make a rebound after my Pereira betting disaster. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I was the guy starting the Magomed Ankalaev chants in the crowd for that fight. Sorry about that. I was one of 5 people chanting that.
My bad.
Dang, not a lot of Ankalaev fans out there, huh? Okay. All right, that's how it is, bro.
Too soon.
Sheesh. Oh, man. Oh. No, we need to hit up the bookie, I think.
Okay. We'll do what needs to be done.
I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do 2 singles and a parlay. I'm thinking a unit on Alexa Grasso, a unit on Ayman Zahabi, and a unit on the parlay of those 2. How is Ayman Zahabi a fucking underdog against Jose Aldo? When's the last time Jose Aldo won a fight against a contender? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. That came off very dickish. I'm not trying to be an asshole at all. But seriously, when's the last time that he won a fight against a contender? What the fuck? I don't understand this. It's betting the line. Am I missing something? I'm a fucking stud. And also, Nano, before we break and call it a night, one last question, because I know the people are dying to know. You got Jackie 3 names, or you got Bilal Muhammad?
Oh, I'm gonna be rooting for JDM. Jackie 3 names, but I have a feeling that Bilal is gonna continue to remind us what his name is. That's really where I'm at. Kind of right in the fence, but my heart of hearts, that's kind of where if I'm being honest, if I'm being real with the people, I want JDM to win personally, but I think the ball is probably going to find a way to get it done, as he's done in the past.
Wow, Zach Dolan. Zahabi does not equal contender. I put 740 on Alex. Not as bad as me putting 2 racks on Ghana, but oh no! Fuck. Oh no, you didn't, bro.
Oh man. What's?
Hold on. I gotta change the music before we sign off for that. That's insane. Where's it at? There we go. For Zach.
Hang in there, Zach. Hang in there, buddy.
For Zach.
For Zach.
He said, I was so confident.
So confident. Oh, man. We always are.
Zach. I had to this day, I can't remember. I need to go back and look it up. It was either a 7 or 8 leg parlay. Either way, I had hit all legs but the final leg. My significant other, she looked across at me and she said, babe, what's the final leg? And I said, Amanda Nunes to beat Juliana Pena. And she said, easy fucking money. Oh my God. I mean, we could have bought a house. Okay. We could have bought a house in California, mind you. But this was the first fight. This was the first fight. So on that night, unlike most, when I say, I'll bring the beers, I would not. I would not bring the beers. I'd bring the tears. Okay? It was a bad night. It was a bad night for your boy. Oh man. Oh, man.
Hang in there.
We try not to talk about those times. You know, we try not to talk about those times.
Oh, man. But we live.
It is what it is, my friend. We live to tell the tale. Making me relive the morning after. It feels like I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It has to be on site when you see Pena. I don't want to. I almost spoke impulsively and got myself canceled in 2025. You see what you almost did to me, Zach? Do you see what you almost did to me, Zach? Oh, man. Yeah, it's nope. Not even going to respond to it. Instead, folks, I will simply say this. For those of you that have made it the entire almost 2 hours of this stream, even though we started late, we appreciate each and every one of you. For those of you watching on the repeat, we appreciate each and every one of you. For those of you that only tuned in for 1 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 45 minutes, I don't give a fuck how long you tuned in. I just am happy that you tuned in. You made it to the show, folks. And I hope you make it through the week with a smile on your face. And I also hope that you hit the like, the comment, the subscribe button, smash that bell for notifications. And look, folks, with all due respect, if you do nothing I asked you to do for the last minute and a half, all that I truly care about, all that I truly hope you do, is keep on going. Keep on growing, folks. We will see you next episode. Let's go.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.